Please excuse any mispronunciations by TTS. The English TTS has trouble with non-English words. But, if you watch Zentreya, you should be fine. Puerto Rican YouTubers, Ozuna. Juan Carlos Ozuna Rosado, born 13 March, 1992, known simply by his surname Ozuna, is a Puerto Rican singer, born and raised in San Juan, Puerto Rico to a Dominican father, and a Puerto Rican mother. 5 of his studio albums have topped the Billboard Top Latin Albums chart, with Aura, 2018, charting at number 7 on the Billboard 200. His musical style is primarily defined as reggaeton and Latin trap, although he has collaborated with several artists from different genres, and his music takes influences from a wide variety of genres, including pop, rock, hip-hop, R&B, reggae, bachata, dembow, and electronic, amongst others. Born and raised in San Juan, Puerto Rico, he decided to become a singer at age 12, drawing influence from the Latin American genres of reggaeton, salsa, and bachata. He made his musical debut in 2012 with the song, Imaginando, which attracted the attention of recording labels, and led to collaborations with Daddy Yankee, and Anuel AA. He released several singles before signing with Sony Music Latin in 2017, who funded the recording of his debut album Odisea. His second studio album Aura, released on 24 August 2018, debuted at number 7 on the US Billboard 200. His 2018 collaboration with DJ Snake, Cardi B, and Selena Gomez on Taki Taki was certified quadruple platinum by the RIAA. He released his third studio album, Nibiru, on 29 November 2019. His fourth studio album, Enoch, was released in September 2020. Since the beginning of his career, he has sold around 15 million records, making him one of the best-selling Latin music artists of all time. On 1 February 2019, Ozuna had the most 1 billion view videos on YouTube of any artist, and he has won 2 Latin Grammy Awards, 5 Billboard Music Awards, 12 Billboard Latin Music Awards, 4 Guinness World Records, among other accolades. In 2019, Time included him on their annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world. He made his acting debut in the film Q Leon. He appeared in F9, the 9th film in the Fast and Furious franchise. In 2022, he played the song Arbo for the 2022 FIFA World Cup along with Jims, which they also performed during the closing ceremony. Early life. Ozuna was born in San Juan to a Dominican father and a Puerto Rican mother. He grew up listening to traditional Latin genres such as salsa and bachata, which have influenced his musical style. He additionally enjoyed reggaeton artists Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, and Wisin y Yandel, which he refers to as the real reggaeton, as well as fellow American hip-hop and R&B artists Jay-Z and Usher. As stated in the eponymous opening track from his album Odisea, he grew up poor and was mainly raised by his paternal grandmother. His father, who worked as a dancer for reggaeton performer Vico C for 3 years, was fatally shot when Ozuna was 3 years old, and his mother was not financially stable enough to raise him. Ozuna was raised in his grandmother's 3-bedroom apartment built above a bodega in San Juan. His grandmother instilled a strong Christian faith in him. He explained that her philosophy centered around the ideal that nothing is given to us, that you have to work for what you get. A pair of sneakers, we bought those with sacrifice. She would say the same of a pencil, an eraser, simple things. We had to sweat in order to get it. Drawing influence from the Latin music he grew up on, he decided to pursue a singing career at age 12. That same year, his uncle, who served as a father figure since his father's death, gifted him his first microphone. His uncle often played music by Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, and De La Ghetto, and the teenager would rap along with the songs on the microphone. To further his career, Ozuna took a job at a local bar called El Corozal, where his earliest musical performances took place. Hoping to escape the violence and poverty of his neighborhood, he moved to the Washington Heights neighborhood of Manhattan in New York City in 2010. While there, the artist learned how to produce and promote his own music videos, and made his first video with a budget of under $100. However, he viewed Washington Heights to be equally violent and impoverished as his hometown, and returned to Puerto Rico with his wife and 2 children after 3 years in New York. Career 2012-2016, career beginnings, and breakthrough. Ozuna debuted as a singer in 2012 with the song Imaginando. He previously went by the name J Ounce. He worked with Musicalogo and Men's before gaining popularity. In 2014, he signed a recording contract with Golden Family Records and began to publish his songs on YouTube. The following year, he focused on gaining a following by performing more than 300 shows in Puerto Rico. That same year, he started his ongoing popular streak with his breakthrough hit Si Tu Marido No Te Quiere, originally featuring D.Ozu when released to streaming platforms and websites, though he was taken down when the song hit radio. The song achieved success on radio and was eventually well known across Latin America. He has since performed in many shows across South America. Manager Vicente Saavedra heard Ozuna's music playing at a basketball game in Puerto Rico, inspiring Saavedra to pursue and eventually sign the artist. Saavedra strategically focused on radio hits to build a following for Ozuna. In early 2016, Ozuna gained further prominence for his appearance in the single, La Occasion, a collaboration with DJ Luan, Mambo Kings, De La Ghetto, Archangel, and Anuel AA. The single reached number 22 on the Billboard Hot Latin Songs chart. In March, Ozuna released a remix of his song, No Quiere Enamorarse, featuring Daddy Yankee. In September, he released his most popular single at the time, Dale Que Tu Me Quieres, which earned him a place at number 13 on the Billboard Latin chart at the end of the year. Ozuna also had 2 other songs that made it to the ranking, Si Tu Marido No Te Quiere remix featuring Archangel, and Farayuko, and En La Intimidad, which reached the top 30. Ozuna regarded the single as his big break, and credited Farayuko and Archangel with allowing him to gain recognition by including them as featured artists. 2017, Odisea. In June 2017, VP Entertainment and Dumelo 6 President, Vicente Saavedra, signed an agreement with Sony Music Latin. The deal included distribution for all artists represented by Saavedra agencies, starting with Ozuna's first studio album, Odisea, released on the 11th of August. The album featured collaborations with J Balvin, Zion and Lennox, and Nicky Jam. Leading up to the release of the album, Ozuna had 8 singles charting concurrently on the Billboard Hot Latin Songs chart. Odisea spent 46 weeks at the top of the Billboard Latin Albums chart, the second longest run of all time after Gloria Estefan's Mi Tierra. The Odisea tour began on the 26th of May, 2017, in Atlanta, and included over 25 cities, among them, Chicago, Miami, Houston, and Los Angeles. Eventually, it was renamed the Odisea World Tour, with Ozuna visiting European cities, and Latin America. The single Te Vas reached more than 710 million views on YouTube, making it Ozuna's most played song on the website at the time. In 2017, Ozuna released many singles, including Dale Que Tu Me Quieres remix, featuring Yandel, Después de las 12 and, in April of that year, Tu Foto, which reached the 10th spot on the Latin Billboard list, and reached more than 780 million views on YouTube. He also released several collaborations, including La Rompe Corazones featuring Daddy Yankee, Escapat Conmigo featuring Wyson, Paradise with Chris Jedi, J Balvin, and Archangel among others. Escapat Conmigo topped the Latin airplay chart and reached number 76 on the Billboard Hot 100 in October 2017. Se Preparo was released on 10 August 2017, and, as of October 2019, has more than 1.2 billion views on YouTube. Odisea spent over 30 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Top Latin Albums chart, surpassing the 29-week record held by Luis Miguel's Segundo Romance as the longest-charting number 1 album by a male artist. On 13 April 2018, Ozuna featured on a remixed version of Tebet featuring Nicky Jam and Bad Bunny. Elias Late of Rolling Stone described the remix of Tebet as one of the most indispensable songs released this year in any genre, a hit in both old-fashioned media like radio as well as the warp-speed world of YouTube. In December 2017, Ozuna released the single La Modelo featuring Cardi B. Following the release, the song debuted at number 52 on the Billboard Hot 100 for the chart dated 6 January 2018, becoming Ozuna's first entry to the ranking as a lead act, following his featurings with Wison's Escapat Conmigo and Nat Natasha's Criminal, while all of them hit number 3 on the Hot Latin Songs chart. 2018-2020, Aura, Nibiru, and Enoch. His second studio album Aura, released on 24 August 2018, debuted at number 7 on the US Billboard 200. The record features collaborations with Nicky Jam, Anuel AA, Cardi B, Romeo Santos, and Akon. To promote the album, Ozuna embarked on the Aura Tour, which started on 26 July 2018, in Madrid, while the US leg started on September 7 in Atlanta. Upon its release, Aura had the biggest streaming week of any Latin album and reached number 7 on the US Billboard Hot 200 album chart, remaining on the chart for a total of 41 weeks. He was named YouTube's most viewed artist globally of 2018, and in October of that year, Time included him on their annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world. He made his acting debut starring in the film Q Leon, which was also released in the US. In October 2018, he worked with DJ Snake, Cardi B, and Selena Gomez on the song Taki Taki. The single reached number 11 on the US Billboard Hot 100. The single became the most streamed song on Spotify in that month and reached over 20 million views on YouTube in the day following the release of the song's accompanying music video on October 9. China, released in July 2019 with Anuel AA, Daddy Yankee, Karol G, and J Balvin, became his fourth number 1 on the Billboard Hot Latin Songs chart. In September 2019, he received 4 Guinness World Records Awards, the most videos to reach 1 billion views on YouTube, the most Billboard Latin Music Award nominations for a single artist in a single year, and most Billboard Latin Music Award wins for a single artist in a single year. Ozuna released his third album Nibiru on 29 November 2019. The album features collaborations from Cultura Profetica's Willie Rodriguez, Snoop Dogg, DJ Snake and Diddy. In an interview with National Public Radio, Ozuna explained the significance of the album title by saying, "I chose the name Nibiru from the theory that the world will end, and I adapted it to my own personal concept. We make music to collide with the world and the public." Also in November 2019, Ozuna performed at the Mesa's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which he called a dream, because I've seen it on TV for years. Nibiru reached the peak position of number 41 on the US Billboard Hot 100 on 14 December 2019, remaining on the chart for 8 weeks. It also became his third album in a row to top the Hot Latin Albums chart. In 2020, Ozuna released the singles Mamakata, with the Black Eyed Peas, as well as Caramello. Both songs topped the US Latin Airplay chart, becoming Ozuna's 19th and 20th chart toppers, respectively, and putting him in a tie with Daddy Yankee for third most number ones. Caramello was released as the lead single from his fourth studio album Enoch, which was released on the 4th of September, 2020. In November, he won 2 Latin Grammy Awards for his collaboration with Rosalía Yo XT, 2X Me in the categories Best Urban Fusion / Performance and Best Urban Song. 2021 to 2022, Los Dios, and Ozutachi. On the 22nd of January, 2021, Anuel AA and Ozuna released a collaborative album titled Los Dios. In January 2021, Ozuna collaborated with the video game Call of Duty Mobile. Ozuna later released his fifth solo album Ozutachi on the 7th of October, 2022. Despite being primarily a reggaeton and trap artist, Ozuna cites bachata singer Romeo Santos as his favorite singer. Ozuna has been described as the new king of reggaeton. He is known as El Negrito de los Ojos Claros, the black guy with light eyes. His logo is a teddy bear in a hoodie, which Lawrence Lowe of Billboard described as having an approachable sweetness. Eduardo Cepeda of Billboard stated that despite Latin urban music presently veering away from its Afro-Latino roots, Ozuna is one of the only, and certainly the most famous, Afro-Latinos to hit the mainstream. Ozuna has more than 10 songs exceeding 200 million views on YouTube, echoing the beginnings of other successful urbano artists, like Farruko and Maluma. Elias Late of Rolling Stone opined that if he sang in English, he'd be on the cover of every magazine in America. In a 2017 interview with the New York Times, Ozuna stated that he was practicing his English in the hopes of achieving crossover success. Despite being primarily a reggaeton and trap artist, Ozuna cites Dominican Puerto Rican American bachata singer Romeo Santos as his favorite singer. Ozuna also greatly admires salsa artist Frankie Ruiz. He is also a fan of rock music, and expresses an affinity for the electric guitar. While many of his songs feature explicit sexual lyrics, he has avoided lyrics that explicitly objectify or disrespect women, and Ozuna himself has stated that his music is appropriate for the whole family. He has compared himself to Canadian artist Drake, explaining that they are both very careful not to denigrate women or to hurt young people, and that they both often alternate between singing and rapping. His songs often discuss relationships and heartbreak, inspired by the overt sentimentality of the bachata and salsa genres. Public image. As described by a New York Times article, Ozuna can work across all these genres at the same time is a testament to the current fluidity of Latin pop, but also to the effectiveness of his singing. He has a sweet, nimble voice that he sometimes deploys like a balladeer, and sometimes like a rapper. Elias Late of Rolling Stone described Ozuna's voice as slim but slicing, precise and hard to imitate. Joey Guerra of the Houston Chronicle observed that Ozuna isn't quite as adventurous as contemporaries J Balvin or Bad Bunny. His songs stick to a more traditional formula, but Ozuna is earnest and sincere in his songs and performance. Personal life. Ozuna describes himself as a typical Boricua with Dominican blood. He is married to Tina Marie Melendez, and they have 2 children. Reprogramming of a concert scheduled in Manizales. On the 30th of July of the same year, during a concert at United Palace, New York, Ozuna struck a security guard on the head with his microphone for being on stage. After receiving criticism for what he did, he expressed regret through Facebook. In August of the same year, he witnessed Carlos Tonka Baez Rosa, a drug trafficker, being murdered. He said he heard the shooting and fled the scene, leaving his vehicle, a Range Rover truck, and that the victim was his close friend. He was linked to the investigation of the crime when the police found his truck near the scene. On August the 7th, the car was seized by police, and he received a death threat from a group of drug traffickers. A few days later, police said there was no direct link between his car and the shooting. In January 2019, Ozuna confirmed he had been the victim of an extortion scam involving an explicit video filmed of him when he was a minor. The FBI investigated the case, and Ozuna's lawyer confirmed that Kevin Frett, a trap singer, was the person extorting Ozuna. Kevin Frett was murdered, and police said that Ozuna was not a suspect in the murder. For the video, which had been edited to cause Ozuna more damage, Ozuna apologized to his fans and family. Discography. Solo studio albums. Odisea, 2017. Aura, 2018. Nibiru, 2019. Enoch, 2020. Ozutachi, 2022. Cosmo, 2023. Collaborative studio albums. Los Dios, with Annual AA, 2021. Filmography. 2011 NY Sex Chronicles. Himself. Additional role. 2018 Q Leon. Jose Miguel Leon. Main role. 2019 Los Leones. 2021 Tom and Jerry, assistant hotel staff. Cameo. 2022 Father of the Bride. Himself. Cameo. 2025 Odisea. Himself. Awards and nominations. Ozuna has received numerous awards, including 2 Latin Grammy Awards, both for Yo XT, 2X Me, from 10 nominations, as well as 5 Billboard Music Awards, 12 Billboard Latin Music Awards, 6 Latin American Music Awards, 8 Lo Nuestro Awards, and 4 Guinness World Records. Concert tours. Odisea World Tour, 2017. Aura Tour, 2018-2019. Nibiru World Tour, 2020. Ozutachi World Tour, 2022.